An overnight tornado threat is developing for millions of people across Wisconsin right now. Nashville's atmosphere tonight has more energy than a Category 4 hurricane, and that is not an exaggeration. And 3 consecutive days of organized severe weather are locked in all the way to the East Coast. All right, y'all, this is a big-time, action-packed 3-day severe weather event starting tonight. But here's the detail that changes everything. This is not a daytime event. It is an overnight disaster. That is 3 straight days of dangerous storms marching from the northern plains to the Atlantic seaboard. Wind gusts of 85 miles per hour are on the table tonight, borderline hurricane force from a thunderstorm. And a full-blown derecho cannot be ruled out, stretching hundreds of miles from Wisconsin into Illinois. Here's what makes tonight uniquely dangerous. This is an overnight event peaking while you are asleep. Turn on that NOAA weather radio before bed and let's get right into it. Looking at tonight's Storm Prediction Center outlook, a Level 3 enhanced risk covers all of Wisconsin. Wausau, Green Bay, Appleton, Madison, Milwaukee, all of Wisconsin is inside this dangerous risk zone tonight. And the 5% tornado probability zone covers 703,000 people in central Wisconsin, specifically tonight. But the 2% zone, 24.4 million people, includes Chicago, Milwaukee, Nashville, and Minneapolis. Here's the critical thing. The worst storms arrive overnight while Wisconsin is asleep. Things will stay quiet through the early afternoon. Don't cancel outdoor plans just yet today. Around 5 to 7 p.m., the first storms fire near Lake Superior and the Wisconsin Northwoods. That initial wave could include supercells with baseball-sized hail and an isolated tornado near Duluth. After 9 p.m., the storm structure shifts. A Boeing line of storms drops south along Lake Michigan. Green Bay and Appleton by 9 p.m., Milwaukee by 1 a.m., Kenosha and Chicago by early morning. Get your NOAA weather radio on before bed, 2 a.m. Warnings only help if you can hear them. Interstate 94 through Milwaukee and into Chicago could see dangerous driving conditions through the early morning hours. Here's your memorable detail for tonight. Wisconsin's dew points match tropical air found on the beaches of Puerto Rico. Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and the Western Lake Michigan shoreline communities are in a prime target zone tonight. Now let's talk atmosphere, because the CAPE values tonight are extraordinary for any summer severe event. Minneapolis is sampling 3,100 joules per kilogram of MLCAPE. Green Bay at 2,900, Davenport at 2,800. MLCAPE is the atmospheric fuel for thunderstorms above 2,000 is extreme, and we are well above that tonight. Mid to upper 70-degree dew points on the warm side of the warm front, tropical level moisture tonight. That warm front runs from north-central Minnesota through northeast Wisconsin into the upper peninsula. Storms along that boundary have access to the most explosive conditions in any summer outbreak this year. Two-phase threat tonight, supercell mode first, with large hail and tornado risk, then bowing MCS with extreme winds. Bowing MCS when a storm line curves forward and concentrates downdraft energy into a destructive corridor. SBC explicitly mentions significant gusts exceeding 75 miles per hour hurricane force wind from a thunderstorm. And 85 miles per hour is possible if a derecho fully organizes the worst-case wind scenario tonight. Derecho, a long-lived, fast-moving wind damage event that leaves a 400-mile path of destruction. If tonight's derecho scenario plays out, that corridor runs from Green Bay through Chicago into Indiana. Isolated tornadoes are also possible early, especially within the 5% tornado zone in central Wisconsin, right? SBC only draws that 5% contour when they have high confidence. Take it seriously tonight. Once again, know your shelter spot, lowest floor, away from windows, phone charged before 9 p.m., while Wisconsin braces for an overnight derecho 700 miles south. Another severe weather crisis is developing. A cold pool-driven MCS is tracking south-southeast at 40 knots. That's 46 miles per hour toward Middle Tennessee. Cold pool-driven means the storm is pushed forward by its own dense outflow air self-propelled. Nashville just sampled 4,500 joules per kilogram of surface-based CAPE. My goodness, that is extraordinary. Surface-based CAPE is the energy available right at the surface, the most dangerous kind for storm development. For context, anything above 3,000 is considered extreme energy. Nashville tonight is 1.5 times that. Low 80-degree dew points across Tennessee Gulf of Mexico moisture sitting directly in the storm's path tonight. Nashville, Columbia, Murfreesboro, and all of Middle Tennessee damaging wind gusts are possible this evening. Combining a system moving at 46 South Mach with 4,500 joules of downstream energy creates a severe wind threat. This Tennessee MCS originated further north and has maintained intensity pushing south through the evening. Kentucky residents near Bowling Green and Paducah keep an eye on radar as this complex continues south. Alabama and Mississippi could also feel the impacts of this Tennessee Valley complex through the overnight hours. Once again, if you're in Middle Tennessee or Southern Kentucky tonight, have your shelter plan ready. Also today, a conditional threat exists in South Dakota and Nebraska for isolated large hail and downdraft winds. Jackson Hole, Wyoming already reported a 50-knot wind gust 58 miles per hour from high-base storms. Across the mid-Atlantic, a shortwave trough is generating isolated damaging gusts and hail risk tonight. Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. not the main event tonight, but isolated severe storms are possible. Here's what's driving this entire 3-day setup: a massive ridge parked over the desert southwest. Northwest flow over that ridge streams energy into the upper Midwest and Great Lakes each day. Each day, that pattern reloads the atmosphere and generates a new organized severe weather threat shifting east. Sunday is Wisconsin, Monday is Great Lakes and Ohio, Tuesday is the East Coast, same ridge, all three, and the ridge isn't moving anytime soon. The pattern keeps generating new severe weather threats daily. All right, let's talk about tomorrow, Monday, July 27th, because it is a significant day for millions more. Monday's threat zone covers eastern Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and western Pennsylvania. Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Cincinnati are all inside Monday's threat zone. Monday carries a slight risk over most of that zone. An enhanced risk upgrade cannot be ruled out. Here's the interesting thing about Monday morning storm coverage: heavily influences the afternoon severe threats. If tonight's MCS stabilizes the atmosphere overnight, Monday's afternoon severe weather could be partially suppressed. But if tonight's storms stay north and the Great Lakes cap holds, Monday afternoon could be explosive. That explosive Monday scenario features storm initiation near Chicago around 4 to 5 p.m. across all of Michigan. Storms race east into Indiana and Ohio through the evening with 60 to 80 mile per hour gusts. Chicago residents, Monday afternoon is your window. Storms could fire by 4 p.m. and race southeast fast. Significant tornado parameter values are elevated in southern Ohio and northern Kentucky for Monday's setup. STP significant tornado parameter is the metric forecasters use to identify long-track tornado environments. When STP is elevated and discrete supercells form EF2 and EF3, tornadoes become realistic, not fringe. Monday's Ohio and Kentucky corridor carries the highest tornado concern within the entire Day 2 setup. Golf ball-sized hail is also on the table Monday near the Detroit and Milwaukee corridor overnight. And here's how Monday connects to Tuesday. The low-pressure system deepens as it pushes east. A 992 millibar low by Tuesday evening, powerful for any summer low-pressure system in the U.S. Tuesday, July 28th, the East Coast gets its turn for severe weather from the southeast northward. Nearly all of Virginia falls inside Tuesday's risk zone from eastern Tennessee up through New Jersey. From upstate South Carolina through Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and into southern New Jersey, Tuesday's zone. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Annapolis, Wilmington, and Philadelphia are all inside Tuesday's severe weather corridor. Albany, New York, and Nashville, Tennessee are also inside the Day 3 risk area for Tuesday. Low pressure at 992 millibars approaching New York generates wind shear from New York City to Charlotte. Primary threats Tuesday 60 to 80, MPH downburst winds, golf ball hail, and an isolated tornado or two. Tuesday's severe weather footprint may be the largest single-day geographic area of the entire 3-day event. Northern Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware Tuesday afternoon is your primary severe weather window. New York City and northeast suburbs face damaging wind and isolated tornado risk Tuesday afternoon and evening. By Wednesday and Thursday, severe weather transitions to isolated events. The widespread multi-day pattern ends. SBC's official probability for severe weather within the enhanced risk zone is 30% or higher tonight. Let's take a look at this frame by frame. Wisconsin's event is the most urgent thing we have. SBC doesn't issue an enhanced risk upgrade casually. This happened because multiple models showed high confidence. I want to be honest, on model uncertainty, earlier guidance kept the main storm corridor slightly further north. Yesterday's run showed highest-end wind scenarios near the Minnesota-Wisconsin border, not central Wisconsin. Recent guidance has shifted south. Every current model solution shows dangerous, severe weather in Wisconsin tonight. Looking at the ECMWF, the European model, it has been the most consistent solution through this event. Euro shows an MCS near Green Bay tracking toward Milwaukee around 1 a.m. and Chicago by 3 a.m. That Euro scenario puts Milwaukee in the worst of the storm between 1 and 3 a.m. tonight. American GFS is more aggressive, showing organized storms into the Fox cities as early as 9 p.m. GFS then tracks them through Milwaukee by midnight and into northern Illinois by 2 to 3 a.m. Dangerous severe weather window for Wisconsin 9 p.m. through 5 a.m. Treat that entire window as active. Overnight severe weather is historically more deadly because people can't respond to warnings while asleep. 3 scenarios from best case to worst case and what each means for Wisconsin tonight. Best case storms fail to organize into a persistent MCS. Wind gusts stay below 60 mph. Limited damage. Middle case and MCS drops south along Lake Michigan with 65 to 75 mph gusts through Milwaukee. In the middle scenario, widespread power outages affecting hundreds of thousands in southeastern Wisconsin are likely. Worst case, full derecho with 80-plus mph straight-line winds from Green Bay through Chicago into Indiana. Derecho events like 2012 and 2020, Midwest outbreaks caused billions in damage and weeks-long power outages. We are not ruling out the worst-case. SBC specifically mentioned significant gusts over 75 mph tonight. This storm has been consistent in model guidance for multiple consecutive days that increases confidence significantly. We've been watching this pattern build for days, and every model run has featured Wisconsin and Great Lakes. If this pattern holds and early August loads up, similarly, daily updates are coming for all of you. Daily updates through this pattern, if the outlook holds through Monday, will track every single development. Once again, NOAA weather radio on, phone charged, wireless emergency alerts on before 9 p.m. tonight. Know your shelter location before the storm arrives. Interior room, lowest floor, away from all windows. For Monday and Tuesday plans, have a backup, have an alert plan, and stay weather aware out there. Tomorrow morning, first thing, a full post-storm damage report and the complete Monday Great Lakes outlook. All right, let's bring it home. 3 things you need to know heading into tonight's event. Number 1, Wisconsin residents. Tonight is an overnight event. Have shelter identified before 9 p.m. Number 2, Middle Tennessee. The southward moving MCS carries damaging wind potential through this evening. Number 3, Monday through Tuesday, severe weather marches east through Great Lakes, Ohio, and the East Coast. If someone you know is in Wisconsin or Tennessee tonight, share this video and get them that heads up. A heads up from someone they trust is worth more than any push notification they will swipe away. Daily updates are coming through this entire 3-day pattern. Subscribe and turn your notifications on. Like, subscribe and turn notifications on. It's the only way to stay ahead of this incredible pattern. We will be here every single day tracking every development as this severe weather pattern unfolds east. God bless the storm spotters and first responders working through the night. They are the real heroes. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe tonight, Wisconsin. Stay safe, Tennessee. God bless y'all.